Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the Amber Valley series. There are 35 parishes in this beautiful slice of eastern Derbyshire. Here's one for your viewing pleasure. Welcome back to Amber Valley, folks. Now, Duffield last week was quite the lengthy route and it was mainly on foot. This one is again another lengthy route, but this time it's mainly in the car because this is a place that is so spread out and it's got landmarks all over the place. We're beginning at what is a showground. Not a very big showground, but big enough for the Duffield car boot sale, which is open every Thursday morning. This is where you need to come. It's on a road out of Duffield towards the main village that we're going to walk around today. Derbyshire flag flying proudly over the showground entrance. You'll find this in Windley. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Welcome to Windley, a very small corner of Amber Valley just to the northwest of Duffield. A tiny village and parish with a population to match, Windley was formerly part of the Parish of Duffield as it was part of Duffield Frith. Windley means pasture in the clearing, and that makes a bit of sense when you think about it. A lot of this area would have historically been woodland, punctuated only by small streams. This small nook of land would have been ideal as a settlement thanks to its easy access to water. If you have or know anyone with the surname Windley, this is the place where it originated. A lot of the Windley family settled in Shropshire, so don't be surprised if this place gets mentioned a bit when we get out there. In the 11th century, much of the land out here was owned by the Mynors, who were seated at Sutton-on-the-Hill near Ashbourne. Sir Roger Mynor was High Sheriff of Derbyshire in 1514, an official of Duffield Frith under the Duchy of Lancaster, and a Commissioner of Peace for the county of Derby. He lies with his lady in a magnificent table tomb in Alkmunds Church in Duffield. Windley has a few interesting landmarks, but some of them are on private land. One of them is a medieval moated site close to Farner Hall and the Turnditch and Windley Showground. There's a pub to see here too, as well as a hall which has an old cheese factory. Okay, let's get moving. We begin this little parish at the Turnditch and Windley Showground. It's basically a field, but it's used annually for the Turnditch and Windley Show. Every Thursday morning it's also the venue for the Duffield car boot sale, well, at least between the months of May and October. It has plenty of space for sellers, plus huge visitor car parking. It's one of the most extensively advertised car boot sales across the East Midlands, and you can't miss it really thanks to the flags waving over its entrance. About half a mile up the road you come to a small cluster of houses which are sited on the former route of the B5023, which has since been straightened. The B5023 runs in a northwesterly direction before turning north towards Wirksworth. Among these lovely stone cottages you can also find a pub, and it's called the Puss in Boots. This is a traditional pub which dates back to the 18th century. A band of loyal regulars keep this pub alive despite the small number of houses in the immediate vicinity. So I don't think this little area has actually got an official name. I think it's just a part of Windley that's separate from the main village. So where is the main village? Well, you have to drive up the road that goes alongside the Puss in Boots pub and take a left turn, and that will take you down a long windy lane. See what I did there? And it'll take you to Windley village. And really, Windley itself is not much bigger than where I am right now. It's a very, very small village. Let's go and find it. So here we go then, up that windy road into the main village. It's not an easy drive this, because the road is narrow and a little twisty in places. It's typical Derbyshire. There's a couple of landmarks on this road before we even reach the main village. One of them is Windley Hall, which is perhaps the grandest property in the entire parish. After parking close to this pinkish white coloured house, I was able to get a look at Windley Hall, although it was partially obscured by trees. It's surrounded by a spectacular south-facing walled garden which extends to around 1 acre. In the grounds of the hall is the old cheese factory, which was originally a 17th century malt house. It's now a luxury holiday home which you can stay in. In front of the hall there's a shallow, fast-flowing brook which drains into the River Ecclesbourne at Duffield. So far so good. What else have we got out here? Well, there's no doubting Windley Hall is an impressive building, but that's as much as I can really see from here because of the gates. Private property, can't encroach any further than this. Okay, let's head up into the rest of the village and start this main walk. I'm not even sure this one's going to get a Strava map, to be honest with you, because it's so small. We'll see when we get there. So after having driven up through the village now, I've decided, yes, the Strava is going to go on. It is going to be a short route. It's quite a steep climb, actually, up this hill into the village. So I'm walking downhill to start with, which is probably the worst thing to do. I always prefer to go uphill first. So it's going to be a slog on the way back. There's no way to turn this into a circle. It's definitely just a linear village. But yeah, let's go and see what Windley has to offer. This area is the most populated part of the village, where most of the houses are located. This is Windley Lane, the road through the village which heads uphill towards the A517 at Turnditch. It's where the village's bus stop and phone box are located. Aside from these, Windley has no other amenities, although there is an attractive single-cell chapel between the village and Windley Hall. Founded in 1809, the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted it in today's drive-in. Now, one of the most notable buildings in this village is called Flower Lilies. We can't access it because its drive is private, but I can definitely tell you about it. Flower Lilies is going to be an exceptional new build property. Still under construction, it's located on the site of a now demolished old sawmill, and it's topped with a grass roof. That's because it's designed to blend seamlessly into the local landscape. It's scheduled to be completed by autumn 2023. I've included a link below to show you what it'll look like. And really, folks, at that corner, that is all there is to Windley. Such a small place. So I'm going to turn around and head back up the hill. Hopefully my legs are still in one piece when I reach the top of the hill. To be fair, it's not as steep as I originally thought. That's it for Windley, and using another pretty narrow, steep and twisty road, I was on my way to the next one. You can tell you're definitely in Derbyshire now. Next week, the parish we're heading to gives us an opportunity to soak up a bit more of this glorious county by way of its stunning views. I'll see you there then. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.